Welcome everybody to the Scale Up Show. This is your host, Ryan Staley, and I have a very, very special guest with me today. I have Steve Pockross. He's the CEO of Verblio and brings more than 25 years of startup, Fortune 500, and nonprofit experience. They've actually grown 600% in the last 5 years and are over the 8-figure mark with a marketplace plus SaaS unique marketplace model. Steve, welcome, man. Happy to have you on.
Thanks so much. Great to be here.
But can you just give a little bit of a deeper understanding about your solution, who it serves, and then the outcomes it creates?
Yeah, so we create written content for the web. We also have, we acquired a video company, so we enhance it with different enhancements, but it's really focused on core content creation. We produce 120,000 pieces of unique content per year in 40 different verticals. The 40th vertical is other, and that's about 52% of the content, which I love that fact. It basically says a couple things. One is if we segment our writers into their levels of expertise and who they can write for, we can go deep on different verticals, but it also means we can really write for the long tail as well. Our core clients, about 2/3 of them are digital marketing agencies, so who understand the challenge directly, have a really big challenge of creating that amount of good content, doing it at scale in multiple areas, but also managing it, those interactions. Even if you have somebody working with you on it, content creation is there's a lot of effort to get somebody to understand who you are and what you want to write about. So about 2/3 digital marketing agencies and 1/3 brands that are doing their own digital marketing, looking to mostly focused on acquiring customers through SEO, but some are publishers, and there's a large variety of content out there. Everyone's really experimenting with how do you create a competitive advantage by using content at scale in different ways, which is, I think that's the next level of where SEO and content is going. From, I know I need to do this, what's the minimum I need to do to produce per month, versus what could I do and what results could I see from that?
That's a great paradigm shift. So you're thinking it's going more from, I love that, because I hear people say that all the time. All the founders that say, what's the minimum amount I need to do to pass that gate to being, and would you say it's trying to shift to that omnipresence model, or in terms of focus, or like, walk me through that a little bit deeper.
So first of all, one of the reasons I love working with digital marketing agencies is I don't have to answer that question. They do it for the client. They're the ones that are running all these mad scientist experiments on what works, how to experiment, because it's really hard to run a head-to-head test in content. Is it the same level of content? Is it longer? Is it more in depth? Did you get the right keywords? Did you enhance it with enough video so it actually comes to life? So how do you actually run that test? And then did you distribute it afterwards? Because if you don't distribute it, nothing happens. And so I've really stopped doing the answer of what's the minimum I need to survive, because if you're looking at that point, I'm really not that interesting of a partner for you. We really work with digital marketers that are looking to expand their marketing versus the vitamin of how do I make sure that this just keeps happening. The content marketing as a channel has developed more and changed more in 10 years than any other marketing channel in history. And so I don't know if that's true, but I want to quote it anyway. And like a good digital marketer. And I think the gist of it is that every year it's going to get harder. If a marketing channel works, more and more people are going to flood to it. More people are going to invest in it, just like Facebook and Google back in the day. So the key is to get ahead of it and to keep focusing on being better before everyone else surpasses you.
What do you think about experimenting with new channels? Like, do you have a philosophy on that with all the, like we had the big audio wave last year pop up with Clubhouse and the Green Room, and then everybody else followed suit. What's your thoughts about testing new platforms so you get that virality advantage, kind of like, the prime movers on TikTok and things like that?
So I think two things. One is you have to keep focused on the core. So we do this agency survey every year of hundreds of digital marketing agencies. What is your best practices in content marketing? What's the number one channel you see? Blogs. Every single year, no matter everything that else changes, blogs work.
Really?
So the amount of consistency of like the things that are just the core basics, I think is really important. And then the rest is, I believe, in a marketing channels, we never know. If we knew as marketers what was going to be the next hot channel that was successful, then we would all go to the exact same place and there'd be no competition, or there'd be too much competition. So we need to place some bets every year. You need to think of it as an investment portfolio in my mind. Try out TikTok, try out audio. Clubhouse didn't go so well. Everyone thought it was going to be the next big thing, but a lot of the other ones did. Like LinkedIn continues to pay off as a channel. So my philosophy is you got to place a few bets, just don't place too many. You can only place as many bets as you can actually do well, or else you haven't proven what your test actually meant anyway. The real question is, if you're going to build the best product, what are you going to sacrifice? So what are you not going to do? So what we decided not to do was invest in sales and marketing until our product was better, and invest all of those resources both into our tech platform and our operations team till we built up a model where we could really afford it. We had a different name at the time, and we desperately needed a rebrand, but you can't really rebrand until you have a better product, or else you're just going to rebrand a product that's not quite there. So on the product side, we decided where our allocation of resources. On our people side, we made a really big decision to focus on getting young A talent and to hire for traits over experience. And this is absolutely one of my keys to success that I would love to share with everybody. Not just define what traits you want in those people, because you're just not going to be able to afford somebody who's been there and done it before, and who fits your culture when you're smaller and bootstrapped and trying to grow. For us, that's curiosity, it's passion, and the feeling that whenever you have a conversation with somebody on my team, you leave it more energized than you did when you started. And if I can hire for those three things, I can teach them whatever I need to do on the skill set side, because they're going to figure out how to actually build the skills.
How do you create the culture then, like where people are dying to work for you, or just love the concept of working for your organization?
So this is there's this transition in startups where at the beginning you're more cult-like. You're trying to find more people that are all of the same vibe because you want to work together and be together. And so hiring for those people that are cultural fit is really important. Then that transitions as you scale, and you have to find certain experience levels as well. Mm-hmm. So part of it is just making sure that everybody vibes with the culture, that everyone's curious, everyone's making everyone else, and that there's a lot of humor in the company. And so I think particularly as a CEO or any executive in a company, it is so your job to stay involved. Like our Slack channel is absolutely hysterical. We have a puppy channel that is about as active as anything's out there. There's pots and pans. And so I think the higher up, most people would think that if you're an executive, you shouldn't waste time interacting with your team. I think there's very few things that are more important than interacting with your team.
Well, thank you so much. This was awesome, and I loved our time together. So where can people find you? Where can they find more about Verblio? And then we'll wrap things up, man.
Thanks. Verblio is www.verblio.com. I hope our website is both informative and entertaining as I've described it. If not, you can send me complaints at LinkedIn. My handle is Spockross, Spockross, or Steve Pockross. If you look me up, I'm the only one. And then my podcast is called Yes, and Marketing. And we took a eclectic view of a liberal arts view of marketing and interview different hosts, because inspiration for marketing can come from anywhere. So I would welcome you to follow me in any of those places.
Love that, man. Well, thanks for being on the show, Steve. It was a pleasure, and I look forward to everybody checking out the podcast.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Pleasure to be here.